and is one of the most influential composers of all time. Composers working today have also commented on many aspects of Debussy's influence on their work. He was also a formative influence on the young Francis Poulenc, who first heard Debussy's music when he was 8 years old and a piano student. After hearing Debussy's Danse sacrée and Danse profane for harp and string orchestra, Poulenc rushed home and tried to improvise in the style of Debussy on the piano. He wrote, "I wanted to reproduce those ninth chords, so new, which had so intoxicated me." He asked his teachers to allow him to play Debussy's piano music, but they said he wasn't ready. But he kept up with this influence throughout his life, and later commented that Debussy was always his favorite composer after Mozart. Quote, "I cannot do without his music. It is my oxygen." And what gets me very excited looking back at this milieu is just the vibrant cultural world that was Paris in the 1920s, and this whole period actually touched on by our program this evening, because you have not just the musical ferment and the artistic ferment of the ballet, you have great fashions, you have great writers, including American expatriates who were there, such as Ernest Hemingway, Gertrude Stein, and it's really one of the most, in some ways, modernism defining moments in history also. So I also think about just some of the social gatherings that took place. Poulenc went to parties with Stravinsky and Brancusi and Bartók and Jean Cocteau, so it's very heady with creativity at that time. Poulenc was commissioned to write Les Biches as a ballet, but for the Ballet Russe by Sergei Diaghilev in 1921, and then it received its premiere in Monte Carlo in 1924. At the time, Poulenc was taking his first formal composition lessons with Charles Cochelin, and he was a noted composer and pedagogue, and I wanted to mention Cochelin because he was also connected with Debussy, an associate of Debussy. He helped orchestrate Debussy's Ballet Kama. So just many links are kind of tying all these creative geniuses at this period. The ballet itself was abstract, meaning it didn't have a plot. The scenario was proposed by Jean Cocteau. The whole idea is an inspiration from visual art. The 18th century French painter Watteau, and particularly his genre fête galante, which are images set often in parks or wooded settings of aristocrats flirting with lovely ladies. So the idea here is that in this scenario, the only piece of furniture on stage at the ballet was a couch, and there were 16 female dancers and 3 male dancers dancing around in what was considered very racy plot ideas or kind of themes. Les biches, just as a footnote, means does. But Poulenc pointed out that there's a kind of a double entendre in French, and that's why in England the ballet is just called house party. It's so difficult to translate. So in this ballet, just kind of thematically, what was going on stage was flirtation and seduction and dancers pairing off together and leading the stage, and there was a suggestive lesbian element involved as well. The music, however, often sounds very proper, or let's say classical, neoclassical. Poulenc was kind of evoking the styles of many other composers in this work, including an homage to Stravinsky, especially in Stravinsky's neoclassical veins, such as that he used in the Pulcinella suite. And we're going to hear just a moment of the opening of the ballet with a trumpet theme, kind of fanfare-like, definitely neoclassical and a little Stravinsky influenced, I would say, as well. So this is clearly very inspired by classical period music. Poulenc was also known for writing beautifully for the voice, cantabile, lyrical writing in his opera, Dialogue de Carmelite, for example, or in his many songs, also in the beautiful flute sonata that I played by Poulenc, we have a cantilena, a gorgeous song-like movement. So I wanted to just give an example of this very elegant lyrical style that he uses, and I'm going to play some excerpts on the flute from different instruments. I just have to juggle my tools. So this is from an oboe moment at the opening of the second movement of Les Biches Suite, the Adagietto. Joined by flutes in a kind of full, fortissimo lushness of orchestral color.